Good evening. Welcome to the Gooner Booth. It's a packed show tonight. There's a lot of people on, a lot of opinions. We're going to get straight into it. Please smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's Aston Villa, massive game at Villa Park, live on TNT Sport, 12:30 kickoff. Arsenal sit top of the league, 5 points clear after beating Brentford 2-0 in the week. Aston Villa are third, 6 points behind Arsenal after a thrilling 4-3 comeback against Brighton. Both teams are in excellent form. Arsenal unbeaten 18 matches, while Villa have won 8 of the last 9 league games and have turned Villa Park into a fortress. One home defeat in the last 25 Premier League games. Good evening, gents. How are we doing?
Very
Good
well.
evening. Good evening, boys. Good evening, everyone watching.
Cool. Anyone in the chat, please get involved in the comments. Ben, I'm going to hand over to you first, mate. Welcome to the show. Give us your thoughts on tomorrow's game.
Yeah, evening all. Yeah, I think based on those stats there, Tony, it's going to be a tough game, isn't it? The fact they've won 8 out of 9, they're probably the inform team in the league at the moment. We've obviously got a stretch squad. I think I saw today that Mosquera is now out for the next couple of months. Will Saliba come back in? I don't know. Will he play Timber in that right centre back role? So look, it's going to be a really tough game. Me personally, I'd take a point. I know that might sound a bit defeatist, but
no,
I'd be happy with the point tomorrow, given where we are with everything.
I see why you would say that, Ben, purely because of the run of fixtures we've got. You'd expect the home games that we've got that we'd comfortably win them. So I can see why you're sort of saying get a point, nick a point, get out of there, carry on. Cool. What's your thoughts, Wayne and Dave, about the game tomorrow?
Go on, Dave. I'll let you go, my friend. Go on. I'll follow you, mate.
The only thing that worries me about tomorrow is Unai Emery. He seems to have our card marked. He knows the tactics.
About it off there, won't we, Ben? Yeah.
You know, he has our card marked. He knows the tactics, the fight against Arteta. They're both Spanish managers. They come from the same sort of what is it? The Basque sort of Barcelona training academy.
Basque country, they call it.
Yeah, you know, so they've been around the block. These guys know how to manage a team. They know all the dark arts, whatever way you want to play it. To me, I think that what it's going to rely on, and it pains me to say it, boys, but I think Moreno. There we go. Moreno's got to come in and score another goal for us, isn't it? You know, I've been asking him to get changed for Gyökeres for the last couple of streams, but this guy keeps on performing. He keeps on proving me wrong. I don't know about you guys, but he keeps on proving us all wrong, in my opinion. You know, so it's crucial. It is a crucial game for us. It is a crucial game. At a point, Ben, totally what you're saying, my friend. A point would not be a bad result at all. Look, we've got to go to Aston Villa. And our 2 toughest away games following on from that is Tottenham away and Man City away. I'm not being funny, boys. We would take that, wouldn't we? Being 5 points clear at the moment, with them away games still to go, we would take that, wouldn't we? If someone handed you that at the start of the season. So that's the way I'm looking at it anyway.
Yeah.
I think a point and no injuries, right? Because the injuries are really
they're hurting us big time. They are hurting us big time, Ben. Totally agree with you, mate. Totally.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I've heard, as you'll see later on, sort of like when Tony brings it up on the screen, that Declan Rice, he's gone on to Sky Sports and said he's fit to play.
Sorry, mate. Just to intervene there. On the press conference, he sort of put him down as a doubt for this game. Declan Rice.
I think it's mind games. He's made us something else. That boy. I think Declan Rice will potentially be there, Tony.
I think he will.
I think he's vital. He's vital. It's vital that he plays this game than it is that he plays against Club Brugge.
We got Bruges and Wolves, didn't we? So this is the game to play, and then rest.
This is the one. As I said in the previous stream, whether you get the masseuse doing overtime, you got on that calf. We need Declan Rice against this mob, and as you guys have alluded to, it's exactly that. I don't need to tread all over your point. It's exactly right. Dave. It's Ben again. Welcome to the stream, my friend. I know what you're saying in the draw. For me, I agree with what you're saying, but I think if you want to be champions of this league, you have to beat teams like Villa away from home. But it will be tough, is what I'm saying. But I get that. You can't. It's one of them games. As an Arsenal, I don't know how you boys approach it. For me, in regards to the game, you boy, whoever's going to come on in the match reaction, whether Tony wants to do it sort of like immediately, I'll be working. I'll be missing more than likely the first 50, 60 minutes of actually being able to watch it. Christmas rush at the post office, boys. So I won't be able to catch it. I've got to deliver. Hopefully the boys will deliver.
You better
for
deliver
me.
my presents or else, mate.
So I'll try.
Don't call him the postman for
I
nothing.
don't quite cover your area, boys.
He always delivers. He always delivers.
But yeah, the point being is obviously I'll be on sort of how I do it, and as I see what you're saying, Ben, you kind of like this is a game you get it, you come up to it, you get to the kick off, and your nerves, I'll just take a draw. I think we would take a draw because we don't want to lose, but I think we need to look at winning this game. So my opinion is, boys, get Deckers through it. Get the masseuse, working overtime on that fucking calf. And let's rest him for Club Bruges and bring him on in if we need to against Wolves. This is a vitally important game. And let's not be jokes aside and right now, and I'm going to pass it back to you, Tone, and let the boys have a say as well. Aston Villa, this is a title decider. If you not a title contender.
They're only 6 points off us.
They're 6 points away from us. Whether you want to joke about it or not, this is again they're up there. So you have to play them.
Considering they didn't score a goal. They didn't score a goal in the first 5 Premier League games of the season.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Didn't score a goal. They couldn't score for love nor money. And now they're sitting 4th. 6 points off top spot.
Listen,
that is
as
crazy.
I say, like David said, he's going to know. The frustrating thing about Emery is he knows how to play against us, as David said. So it's vitally important, boys. We played it. I'm not overly confident going there without Gabby and Saliba. As you'll see in my 11, and it's always open. As you guys have watched it before, it's always open to discussion and opening up what I presume would be an 11. I don't think Saliba is going to make it, boys. So if he does, brilliant. But let's see. But yeah, that's my opinion on it, boys. It's but if you want to be champions, these are the games you have to win.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, agreed. No, look, I think obviously a win would be massive.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, especially David, you said the games we've got coming up, right? Like if we can tick this one off and we can get 3 points, it's massive. The way I would approach this game is, do you remember the way we approached Liverpool? We were so cautious and they were there for the taking. I think we've got to go into this game aggressive. If you look at the last few games we've played away from home, we've started really poorly. Chelsea away, Sunderland away.
No, totally.
We weren't good in those first halves, so we need to be up for it early.
So
we do, Tony. Yeah, sorry, go on, matey.
So I wanted to pose a discussion point, right? Me and Ben had a really good discussion off air, and I want to bring it to you guys, right? Do you think that Emery had enough time with Arsenal?
It was the season of the UEFA Cup, wasn't it? So we lost to Chelsea in the final, didn't we?
Yeah.
In Baku, wasn't it? Azerbaijan.
Baku, yeah.
Yeah. And we also lost that to Chelsea on the top 4 race. So they basically picked us in both positions on that season. And it just seemed like he weren't going nowhere. Is the guy a good manager? Definitely. One. Is his CV better than Arteta's at this precise point? Yes, it is, because he's won UEFA Cup with 2 different clubs, and he's won it on multiple occasions as well, Seville and Villarreal as well. But he's got to Villa, and obviously they've got a ceiling, haven't they? He can only go so far with them. They made a massive expenditure on players, bringing influx of Marlon, all different players. It'd be so hard to go through them all. But they've also hit their ceiling, and also now they've had to get rid of players as well because they didn't make the Champions League last season. So that's what's frustrating for him. Do I think he's an elite level manager? Yeah, I do. I do think he is an elite level manager. Actually, I think if you put him in, the City side, or you put him in Arsenal at the point weren't an elite club. They were a top 4 club battling, weren't they? So he was amongst the pond, wasn't he? He was one of the medium fishes swimming with all the rest of them. Yeah, you put him in an elite club with elite players. I bet you he could actually do something. Him, I do think he is an elite manager. I do.
Ben, I'm going to bring you back in, Ben, because you said some interesting points. Do you want to talk about what your thoughts are on that topic?
Yeah, look, I completely agree. Right? Was he given enough time? It was difficult, right? Because the club was in a difficult position at that point. Like, we just came off the back of 2 or 3 seasons under Wenger, which were not great. I think there was a lot of ill discipline in the club as well. If you look at some of the defensive players we had at that time, I'm thinking back now, like Mustafi. I don't know if Mustafi was under Emery, but David Luiz, who I liked, by the way, but he wasn't like an out-and-out defender. Yeah, do you know what I mean? There were players that, I mean, it's hard to build a team based on that foundation, isn't it?
It's not great.
So he didn't really address those points. Don't get me wrong. Some games we played some really nice football, but Tony, we were talking about it. Like, some of the football was also quite chaotic as well. There were games where we were conceding like 15, 20 shots on goal. And one thing that Arteta did immediately was say, right, I'm going to sort. Yeah, against Watford. I was at that game, Vicarage Road. It was like literally 2-0 up first half, and then they just peppered our goal, drew 2-2 in the second half.
That's the stats, isn't it? That's the stats.
But
when we got shots away.
Yeah, exactly. And we didn't need that at that time. And the good thing what Arteta did is that he came in and just made us solid, like straight away. We weren't getting all the results, but at least we were more solid. So he probably wasn't the right manager for what we needed at that time. Maybe if we brought him in now with the team we've got, might be a different story, right?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, for me, boys. I mean, I know what you're saying. I think obviously Emery's a good manager, but in my opinion, I think he's at the level he should be at in terms of a Sevilla, Villarreal. Though, if you look at them, they're the Aston Villas of the Spanish league. He's where he should be. I don't think he's good enough to win a league like the Premier League. And like you boys have alluded to, when he joined us, the club was in absolute disarray anyway.
That's true.
What it was is, and I'm trying to
poison chalice. It's the poison chalice.
It was.
It's like Moyes taking over from Ferguson. No one who was going to take. You want to be the second person after Wenger, don't you? Sorry to interrupt, Wayne. Sorry, mate.
No, but
it was a bit of a poison chalice.
You're right. It was never for him. It was because obviously the level of coach he was, and he went to PSG. His problem was the bigger players. He seems to upset the bigger style players. You know, the Aubameyangs, Lacazette. They were taking the piss out of him in training, going good evening behind his back.
Yeah, there was.
You know, we bought him Sven Mislintat, who was bringing in Lichtsteiner and Socrates for the defence. Aubameyang was a good signing, but why are you swapping Sanchez for Mkhitaryan? That was poor, in my opinion. Right. And also, what's his name? Sanlehi? Raul Sanlehi?
Yeah. The guy from Barcelona.
Pepe for 72 million. Now, the club, you bought a player for 72 million. That was just overpayment 101. So what he's walked into, it's harsh on him. I liked him. Yeah. But the way we was playing and what you boys have described, I'm not going to, again, not step all over it. I just think it weren't the right time. But I would say right now, Arteta come in and said, this is the rules. This, as he said, there's, what's he saying? There's I can't remember what he keeps saying about it.
So the question is, Wayne, who do you think's a better manager? Unai Emery or Arteta? As it stands on paper right now, who do you think's a better manager?
Good question.
It's a good question.
It's really tight. And listen, there ain't no wrong answer to me. There ain't no
I thought I was hosting the show.
Sorry, boys.
No, that's a good point. For me, as I say, again, you have to realise this is an opinion. But on paper, if you're looking at it on paper, you look at, as you've just said, his CV, Emery's won stuff.
That's right.
But Mikel has won an FA Cup, which people...
with Unai Emery's team, as everyone likes to say, don't they?
Yeah. And this is it. I mean, listen, for me, Does he, if he was under Berta, maybe he would have got sort of a better sort of like, now Berta's straightened it out. Would Edu have done it? Would he have got on with Edu? Mikel and Edu's partnership was.
Cheers, Vishy. Thanks for tuning in, mate.
Thanks for tuning in. It is such a tough one for me. If I'm going to not spring around the bushes, I think Arteta's tactical approaches to games are far better. His defensive structure is far better than Emery. But what Emery's got, he's got certain ways. He got a certain way of playing. But Mikel now he's learning every aspect of the game. So everyone's going, look at Arsenal. They're doing long throws. Look at Arsenal with the set pieces. Yeah. When did you associate this football club with any of them two things?
No, never. Never.
Set pieces.
Never.
I mean, great. We were great defensively back in the late 80s, middle of the 90s.
Yeah.
Wenger took over and the football changed. But under George Graham, we were a fantastic defensive unit. He is trying to learn every aspect of the game. So in terms of trophies, Emery's a far better manager so far. But tactically, in my opinion, and it's only opinion, boys, Arteta is tactically better and he's got a better tactical ceiling than Emery, in my opinion.
Ben, do you want to give your thoughts on that before we move on to the starting 11?
I was going to say, I think when you look at Arteta's achievements, this might sound a bit crazy, but the FA Cup, for me, obviously it was a trophy. It's probably not one of his best achievements, right? His best achievements are he's transformed this team into a title challenging, potentially now title winning team, right? At that time, we won an FA Cup during COVID, empty stadiums. Like it was a nice thing to do, right? Win the cup, but we are like way stronger now. I think what Arteta is great at is he's been so consistent. If you look at like the run of games that we go on, what did you say earlier, Tony? It's been 18 games unbeaten. I just think Emery struggles with that. Like he has games where he'll go 6-7 games winning and then they'll lose 3 or 4 games. Maybe that's the team he's got, but I think Arteta is a very consistent coach. But does he have that kind of X factor to take us from where we are now to the next level, which Emery's obviously proved, right? Through Europa Leagues and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, with PSG, that's it. To interject there, Ben, 100%, mate. I mean, and we've had this discussion on this channel and Tony and stuff like that, and he says I'm too sort of like pro Arteta. For me, it goes further back to when he was captain of this football club, when we literally lost Fabregas and we lost Nasri in the same team.
Can you read that comment out, mate, before we?
Yeah. So the difference. Thanks again for the comment. The difference tactically between Arteta and Emery is marginal. Arteta changed the culture. That's the main difference. Exactly.
This is the
problem, boys. This is what. Thank you very much, and thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it, guys. Sorry to be hogging the airtime, guys. I just want to get a point across and pass it straight across. But we were in such a bad place that under Emery, which is it's unfair as Arsenal fans to judge him solely on that. As you've said again, David, he's a good coach, and I think that his consistency, Ben, as you said as well, is what would kind of concern me. And also as well, would we be in the same position when the structure changed for Arteta? Because Arteta said, I'm coming in, I've got phases, and people keep saying, what phases are you in?
Yeah, phase 4, phase 6.
Phase 4, whatever. I don't care about
they
phases.
Do, don't they? It's the ops, mate. It's the ops.
He wants to get exactly, and he wants this club. He doesn't want this club down in the doldrums. He doesn't want this club having a David Luiz, a Socrates, a Lichtsteiner. He's brought these players. He's got his players. I'd say there's 1 or 2 he might want to jig around, but I think listen, let's give the guy time in terms of that. And this has to be his year. That's my opinion. I agree with that.
If he don't win one of the big boys, though, he's under pressure.
He's under pressure. Exactly. He's under pressure. We, as a football club, I think as fans, you realise this, whether you go in your workplace, you've got friends, we need this, boys.
He's got all the tools, isn't he? He's basically got all the tools.
Yeah.
He's got all the tools now. There's no excuse.
He has to win it this year.
Injuries, no signings. This season, he's got all the tools.
The field as well is so poor this season as well. Let's be honest.
Our opponents are not doing very well, are they?
Look how poor the other teams are.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, we have to take exactly, mate. We
have to win it this year. We have to.
Yeah. I want to. Can I pose a question to you, boys? Not a question. To say would you agree with what I'm saying here, and I'll pass it back to you. Would you boys agree that his biggest weakness, in my opinion, for Arteta, is his ability to sort of to rest players at moments to get
rotation.
Sometimes his
usage.
rotation.
Yeah.
He's rotational, but this now obviously he's again. Listen, boys, look how many people are coming back now. And then what happens? Mosquera, as you said, Ben, could be out for 6 to 8 weeks. So that's a couple of months, yeah?
Oh, is it as bad as that? Is it really?
It could be.
Apparently
They're having another scan. But yes, could be 6 to 8 weeks.
God.
Ankle injury.
Well, looks like Ben White's going to get some more minutes then, boys, doesn't it? You're in Timber at centre-back.
Benny White, Timber is a centre-back, boys. Timber is a ball-plan centre-back.
He plays for them for Holland.
And he does there at Holland. So I'm not overly bothered. What I'm bothered by is the depth. But he's got the depth now, boys. He's got to rotate a bit more now because injuries are going to happen again. And we've got the team, but we keep getting silly injuries for our players that we've brought in.
Yeah, nice little segue onto the predicted 11. So let's have a look at it. Can everyone see that? Yeah.
So we'll zoom in. Yep.
Yeah. So obviously, look, the back four. Let's hope the Saliba comes back in, right, for this game.
Listen, boys, I've gone on what, as I say, that everyone who's, as you say, Ben, yourself have read it as well, and Tony, and David as well. But as he said with Saliba, he's going to have a test, but people reckon it could be a few days. Now I know you guys, obviously, with Eze on the left. For me, I think obviously Odegaard, I still think needs minutes.
Right, let's discuss that, right? Because I was at the game on Wednesday, right, and I was talking to Ben about it at work.
Yeah, you look frozen. You look frozen, mate.
Oh, me? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was fucking honestly. It was fucking cold.
Yeah, it's a bit cold.
I'm paying for it now. I'm paying for it now.
Poor sod.
Yeah, and it was. Do you know what? It was. We knew Brentford was going to come and sit in 2 banks of 4 when they could. Long throw from the geezer. And he had a fucking long throw on him, to be fair.
Coyote.
Yeah, he had
Coyote constantly.
We defended it well, though. We did defend it well. But that save from Rare was unreal, by the way. And seeing that in real time was just even better. But yeah, look, I want to talk about Odegaard, right? Because I've mentioned this a few times to Ben. And I don't think he should be starting this game, right? Purely because watching that game, he slowed us down, right? And there was no rhythm in our football because at points he was dropping in to the back 4 to get the ball from him. Why the fuck are you doing that? You don't need to be there. You're an attacking midfielder. The difference between him and Eze, for me at the moment, is Eze literally he only sits in that area. He don't move, but he don't move between Zubimendi and Rice.
He plays between the lines. He plays in the pocket.
He doesn't
between the lines.
He doesn't move away from that, right? He might go from left to right on the wings to get involved in the play, but he does not cross that line and go into the defense. Odegaard was dropping into there, getting the ball, moving it. But when he was doing that, at times, it was isolating Marino from getting into the game because he was literally there was moments where he had the ball and there was nothing going forward. So what was he doing? He was going side, back. Brentford just sat in and went, come break us down. And we couldn't get behind them because of that. And I think that's why Madueke, yes, he set up the goal. It was pre-assist, as we call it now, for the goal. Other than that, he struggled to get into the game because whenever he got into a good position, Brentford already closing us down. And that's because Odegaard moves the ball too slow. If you look at the Tottenham game, really good example. At the Emirates, Eze was moving. When Eze got that time and space, look how quickly he was moving the ball forward. There was more fluidity in our play. Now, I don't know what you guys think of that, but me seeing that in real time actually made me realise, actually, we ain't been playing like this without Odegaard in the team. Don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic footballer, really good player. But I think Eze offers a little bit more in that role. And I think putting Eze out on the left, yes, he'll do a job out there. Completely agree with that. But I just think Odegaard, I don't think he's lacking confidence or what, but I think his positional play lets us down.
Yeah, as a co-host, boys, I want to ask David and Ben and not hog this anywhere because the thing is with me picking this, Tony puts me under pressure, so I've got to pick it, and I've been trying to think about it, boys. So I want to ask a couple of questions, and please, whoever wants to answer first, please do, and then obviously take the turns in answering.
Yeah, before you guys answer, there's people watching. Please feel free to comment on the starting 11.
Yeah, please comment as well.
What changes would you make?
Any questions and whatever. But with this, boys, and I don't think that Moreno deserves to be dropped, by the way. I really, really don't. I was just torn between trying to get Gyökeres in to keep the high line to get to
Yeah,
pin
but I think
Villa back.
No, you don't drop
in
him for this
fairness,
game. No, you don't
in
drop
fairness,
Moreno
I think
for this
Marino
game.
looked on his feet on Wednesday. He looked absolutely knackered.
Yeah, that's the
boys,
one.
we've been saying that for the last 2 weeks, mate, and
But
he
he's
keeps
still
popping
going.
up with goals.
So, another thing as well, David. But I don't want to get to my point because I don't want to be delaying it too often. But I think Moreno at this time and we need to use him. So my question for you boys would be, if you're going to look at that lineup, would you keep that lineup but take Moreno out to play as a kind of support striker for Gyökeres? And secondly, would you put Moreno up front, and if Trossard is fit, don't start Gyökeres and put Trossard left, Eze in the middle, and Moreno up top, and bring Gyökeres again off the bench? What do you boys reckon? And
I think that's what he's going to do. I think that's what he's going to do, mate. To be honest with you.
Yeah, what do you reckon, Ben? Would you agree with anything that, matey? Would you sort of like? Would you get? Because Moreno, another thing. Sorry, Moreno as well, boys. Is he going to play when everyone's fit, and then you get a Gyökeres fully fit back? Trossard, your Ezes, your Ødegaards now. We have to use this guy because he's been vitally important. He's a clutch player.
Boys, it ain't broke.
Use him while he's on top form.
Yeah.
I
think Moreno plays.
Exactly.
I think he plays. I think he also plays as well.
This is
given that he drops into midfield as well. I think that's a key thing for the way we're going to play in this game. If you think we want to dominate the possession, like Gyökeres is just going to be up on his own as a number 9. And if we're going to play as I don't think we will play as personally, because if you look at his track record, he loves playing Martinelli in these away games. Because
also Villa like to play a high line, boys.
Yeah, exactly. He tracks
there ain't
back.
much space in between the midfield and the defence. Sorry to interrupt, Ben. Sorry.
No, I agree with you.
Listen,
I think if they've got a high line, he'll play.
Mate.
Yeah, he'll play.
Ben,
I think the question he'll play Ødegaard as well.
Oh,
that's the thing. Tony as well, mate. I'm not forgetting about you, but you know what? Another thing as well that I'm worried about, and I wonder whether you boys agree with me. At the moment, I think Martinelli should be brought on as an impact player. As you've said as well, if it's a high line and we're constantly peppering this, Aston Villa, what's worse than a Martinelli running at you in the 70th minute, 75 minute? You're tired, and this guy's running behind. That's why Trossard, I think, this season has been vitally important. Because he's been starting on the left, and he'll go right. Okay, well, you might swap something around. We've got so many options now. Let's not forget Madueke's fit now. Jesus is not Premier League match fit, can you say? But he's on the bench. He's ready to go when we need him. There's so many options. But I think Trossard's been vitally important because you bring Martinelli off the bench against tired legs. That's where you need to be. That's what I think his role should be. In this game. But I think, as you said, Ben, I think he will. It's more likely going to be. It could be Ødegaard, Martinelli, Moreno, and Saka at the top there.
I think if Trossard's fit, he plays, right?
Yeah.
If he's fit, he plays.
That's the thing. Exactly.
He's been one of our best players.
He plays. He plays. Obviously, he's not always often. He's got a great track record at the moment, Trossard, in terms of availability. And in my opinion,
he's the best 12th man in the league, isn't he? Put it this way.
Yeah.
Super sub. He's the super sub, isn't he? Like Teddy Sheringham back in the day when for Man U, when he comes on and scores in the Champions League final. I must admit, Trossard is a clutch player, isn't he? He is.
I want to pose a question to all of you, right? If Rice is injured for this game, who goes in midfield with Zubimendi?
Yeah, that's to be Moreno.
But Norgard for me.
I don't think Moreno does go in midfield.
I want to see Norgard. I think what you have to go on, boys, and whether you agree or not, would be Zubimendi and Moreno have played together for Real Sociedad for a few years prior.
Yeah,
they've got the chemistry. But if you're going to play Moreno there, you're going to have to get Ødegaard in, and I know that annoys you, Tony, what Ødegaard does. But
could we not play Ødegaard in that 8 role? Could we not play him in that 8 role?
But he won't do it, mate. He
won't do it. I want him to, Tony.
He should play there. He should play because he presses well from the 8.
Yeah,
he would be. You've said it before. I've heard you both say it. Both you and Tony. Wayne and Tony have both said it. He should actually play 8 because he could press well.
He drops so deep as well, doesn't he, for the ball?
Also, that's the reason why. Also, boys, you know, like against Brentford, the first 20 minutes. Sorry to take it back there very quickly. Is that he always filters over to the right. So now we went back a season and a half ago when we had Ben White, Saka, and we actually had Mwaki against Brentford. But you know, we was playing all down the right hand side. So when you looked at our stats of attacking, we was all down the right hand side. Most of our attacking come down there. It seems when Odegaard plays, he seems to filter out to the right and keeps knocking that little ball in. Do you know that cross to the back post, which ain't hard enough? He keeps on hitting the front man all the time. You know, it's a little bit frustrating, but he don't sit in the pocket. He won't sit in the Eze pocket. He keeps on filtering out to the right. He's a little bit like, I don't know what it is. It's scared, or that's his natural position. I just don't know what it is, you know.
The thing is, I'm not the biggest Odegaard fan, right? But I think in these types of games where you want possession, you need to play him because he does keep the ball. He does keep the ball well. Whereas Eze is much more of a goal threat, but he's also going to go missing, I think, in games, and he's not going to do the defensive work. And I think you can already see that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben,
but I think he goes missing.
Sorry, Tone, go on, mate. I know. I apologise. You go, Tone. All I was going to quickly say was that's why you buy a player like Eze, because I don't think he's going to control games. He is your X factor. Bang, goal.
Yeah, just what I was going to say to Ben in that sense, that he goes missing because he doesn't drop in so deep. He stays in that area, and he's there when you need him in that area. When he
100%.
I get what you mean though. In a game like this, though, he's not going to be tightly marked as he would be against Brentford, right? And that's why Odegaard dropped in. I think this game, Odegaard probably will start, and he probably will get a bit of time because Aston Villa, Emery's so mixed match with his tactics. He's probably going to change it up against us, and he's probably going to sit in. I've noticed this season. Tell me if you disagree, lads. No team in this league have gone toe to toe with us. Probably, I wouldn't say Tottenham because they had 5 at the back, but they were open in the end. But I can't think of a game where even City. Yeah,
I would say Sunderland. I would say Sunderland.
Sunderland away.
Sunderland away. I've got to say, and sorry to interject.
They put it on us. They did put it on us, and we had Gabriel and Saliba that day as well.
Yeah, I thought Sunderland were so honest all game. You know, Chelsea.
They still weren't good enough. No,
exactly. But
first half they were brilliant against us, weren't they?
They was
Chelsea as well,
and then we were brilliant second half.
Yeah, and the things as well about that, as I said to the boys on that time on that game, that in my opinion as well, we were against Chelsea. I think we were very lucky to have sent off. Yeah. I mean, but
I think we got bullied. We got bullied in that game a little bit, didn't we? I think our midfield got overran.
That wasn't good for me to see, boys. I don't know about you lot, but I didn't like. I think stand up quite well, you know.
What did I say? I said it could be a good point in the end because I said they won't beat Leeds. I said they'd lose against Leeds.
But I think Villa.
If I say don't get the red card for them, mess them completely up. They ain't got depth of us.
Villa will be the same as Chelsea. They're going to come out straight away. They're going to literally their dominance in the game. Saka's going to get kicked. Odegaard's going to get kicked. They're going to literally put their marker down in the first 10 minutes of this game. We just got to get through it and settle quickly. If we don't, there's going to be probably a really stressful afternoon.
Yeah, definitely. It's going
to be a tough game. Definitely a tough game.
I was going to say, can I ask you guys a question?
Go for it.
What do you make of Zubimendi?
Quality.
I want to have a thing because I want to flag Tony up on this, Ben.
Yeah.
And if all you've been watching, on Brentford, whether Tony saw it live, but Zubimendi for me was fantastic. He picks the pockets up that in the midfield that you don't see. So Rice is playing as a left 8. Yeah, he's got license to roam the pitch. He's up and down. He's everywhere. He's making tackles. Zubimendi for me, right? He scored a fantastic goal, didn't he? Well, obviously, it took a deflection. I think Forest, wasn't it? He's not a goal scorer.
Volley.
He's not going to get fantastic. He's not a goal scorer, but I want to put someone in mind for Zubimendi. And I want you boys to, if you agree with me or disagree with me and think I'm a twat, you can always tell me, because this is what
You're always a twat, mate.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate. I've known you since you was a baby. You've always been a twat. Subimendi reminds me of a Gilberto Silva. On that pitch, what Gilberto did.
That's a
what I mean by
that
this,
is a
boys,
statement. It's the invincible. It's an invincible.
No, but what I'm saying that in what I mean in the comparison, and I've not been drinking at all today.
You sure, mate?
Is what I mean by that is when in the Invincibles, if you were to pick, who is your player you'd pick out of that midfield? Would it be Patrick Vieira or Gilberto?
No, Gilberto Silva, because he was the quiet hero.
But Vieira was your box to box, wasn't it? Vieira was,
Vieira got the headlines.
If you're going to sell someone, you'd go, no, I've got to keep Vieira. He's world class. Yeah, Gilberto did that stuff. Subimendi is a kind of player that is going to allow a player like Rice to thrive. And they're totally different players in that sense. But what Subimendi does is he'll pick all the positions up from picking the ball up from the edge of the box. Watch him when the goal kick. He's dropping in to that middle bit between the midfield, the defenders.
I like the way he's on the half turn.
He's on the half turn. He's ready to go.
He's on the half turn. You want your central midfielder to be on the half turn, don't you? Yeah. There was a comment that Rice made recently to totally back up what you're saying, Wayne. Rice said, "Look, I'm passing the ball to Spain's number 6." He said, if you want a number 6 to pass to, he said, you want Spain's number 6, because he's going to be very technical. He's going to be able to take the ball, whether you ping it at him or you send it in on the half volley, the guy's going to be able to control it, bring it down and start the move making again. That's what Rice has said. So I'd like to think that Rice knows what he's talking about a little bit. You know what I mean, boys?
Yeah, no, 100%, and that's what I'm saying. I don't want it to be a meme or go viral. What I'm saying by Gilberto Silva is that Gilberto he used to intercept, he used to play the pass, and Vieira would move the ball through box to box, and then it would be moved on to Pires or Lundberg, or Bergkamp would drop into the midfield, which people, Bergkamp was doing that before it was even popular, Gilberto Silva allows a player. Subimendi allows a player like Rice to thrive in terms of closing the opposition down, and he does the stuff that sometimes you wouldn't necessarily notice. But he's always on it. He's got the ball. He's available. He picks the pockets of space up. He is vitally important. He's a totally different player to Gilberto, but he's got that bit about him where you're like, all right, Rice has just run the length of the pitch, but the reason why he ran the length of the pitch was because Subimendi's taken a couple of players out and released the ball to him. So that partnership, boys, is vitally important tomorrow to get the points. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's an invincible yet. I'm saying that's how Subimendi's role in the team. For me, I'd interpret it as vitally important, boys. Vitally important.
I think it took him a while to settle. I think that's a fair thing to say, right? The first few games of the season, Ben, I don't know if you agree with that.
It's a tough Premier League is a tough league, Tony.
I think he realised that he weren't going to get the same amount of time on the ball that he probably would away with Spain or in the Spanish league, right? Because there has been games where I think the Newcastle away game was
been caught out. He has been caught out.
He realised there was moments in some games. I think the United game at Old Trafford, he got caught on the ball quite a few times because you don't have that time. But
what you want from him is the intelligence not to get caught out like that again. I think he's got mistake once, can't you?
He's got better. He's got. I think he's settled. I think he settled with Rice, and they've built a good partnership. So no, I do agree with that. I think Subimendi has been good. Ben, what was your thoughts on that? You posed the question. Let's fight back at you.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Look, Wayne, I think I agree with what you're saying in that, like, Rice has got all the plaudits, just like Vieira got all the plaudits, right? And no one's really looking at Subimendi. I think he's a tidy player. I just think that he needs to like get a bit better physically, just understand the league's intensity a bit. Like if you look at Chelsea, he gets that stupid yellow card early, and then he can't do anything defensively the whole game.
I
don't know. Can you kind of get out of the way a little bit, or I don't know. Like my issue with him is physically, is he getting overrun a little bit?
And he given a yellow. 50-50. I know where you're coming from.
I thought that was his first as well, boys, wasn't it? His first booking. His first sort of he didn't do anything.
Yeah, he was unlucky.
His first foul. That was his first foul.
That's his first foul. The ref got a yellow. I know what you're saying, Ben. I mean, like Tony alluded to, there is obviously a strength thing, and I think as well, he had the intelligence and actually had that he was humble enough to go, look, if it wasn't for me, you know, the Richarlison goal against Spurs, he stood up.
Yeah, he's given the ball away there.
That's on me. I'll give the ball away.
Yeah.
The thing is, boys, as well, is
I think he dropped a similar sort of clanger against Bayern Munich as well. Was it not him losing the ball in midfield as well?
You know, he's under pressure in a role where he you know, sometimes it's going to happen, boys. But I think it will only improve in time. You know, but it's my worry. Going on to imposing another question, so as we start to kind of close it down, we need to find a solution for resting Rice and playing a player, because I don't think Moreno is a fully in midfield. He's he's Rice's level, which this is a tough one anyway, boys. I think we need to find something in the January transfer window to help us out, because I think Norgard, he doesn't seem to trust him, especially in the bigger games. Like you think when you play against Brentford, I would have brought him on to rest Rice. He didn't do it. You know, boys. My only worry, and whether you guys agree, would be the depth behind Azuba, Mendy and Rice. That's my worry.
Yeah, that's fair statements.
So very
Could Lewis Skelly play there?
Yeah,
I want to. And Ben, as you've seen in previous ones, Ben, I think the boy should be allowed to play that role.
He can run with the ball.
And I think obviously
he shields the ball very well.
He does, mate. His ability to shield the ball. Watch out, his move is where he gets the ball front. He's got the ball, his face in play, and he gets his body in front and just turns around and he's gone.
Yeah,
that's a fantastic thing and especially for a left day. I've said to Tony,
who he reminds me of?
He's future. Go on.
Right, leaving us in suspense.
Who do you think he reminds me of? A player from the past?
Santi Cazorla.
Wilshere.
I think he's a bit like Wilshere. Yeah, he's a bit like Wilshere for me. The way he runs with the ball.
In terms of
is a bit Wilshere-esque.
Wilshere could turn away. I know what he's saying, David, and I agree with you there, Ben. If you watch Wilshere from the past, he could do that to players and just turn and go. That's quite a good comparison, because
big statement.
I think they're slightly different.
Was a big
players.
Statement.
It's slightly different players. But
maybe Miles is better physically. He can run with it better, whereas Jack was maybe better at passing and spraying it.
Yeah, Wilshere could have been one of the best English midfielders.
Nothing like each other.
In terms of ability to turn away from players, they both got that in their locker, which I agree with. But I think his future, on kind of closing it down, boys, I think MLS's future is the left eight. You know, but let's see. That's what I think.
So
that's my
before we start wrapping the show up and going to predicted scores, quick question for both of you, all four of you.
Give it to the new guys, Tone, because I've been asking them.
Ivan Toney was seen at the ground and also in the changing room with Declan Rice after the game. Would you take a loan deal for Ivan Toney at Arsenal?
No.
Ben? No?
Not now.
I think if Havertz is fully fit, and I agree with what the boys have just said, I don't think they've got to say much more. Don't be surprised though, boys, but I wouldn't put anything to it really.
Julian Alvarez, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Give me Alvarez and I'm selling Jesus and Havertz.
I would love Alvarez.
Both of them can go, mate.
Julian Havertz, you got behind a Gyökeres. You can, if you didn't have a Gyökeres, you can
Alvarez and Gyökeres, mate, with Moreno coming in as super sub and the backup striker. I'll be happy with that, mate. All day long.
Yeah. Joe, I
get what you're saying, Tone. Back in the past, I think the team has gone with the fact that we bought Havertz has meant, you know, if you were telling me if you're going for Toney, then that would say that is that telling me
we should have bought him when he was leaving Brentford. Why are we buying him?
Exactly. I don't.
He was cooking. He was absolutely doing well in the Premier League. He scored 20 goals in the season. No, he just come back from his betting scandal thing. So he wasn't looking great, was he? That's the thing why I don't think any Premier League.
You know what Tony's brought that up though, and sorry boys, but I just want to put you just to give you an heads up as to why and why it keeps happening. was because when we went in for Raya, and by the way, we've actually been in for Raya for about 4 years prior to Ramsdale.
Yeah. We've been
We
looking at
couldn't
him
get
for a
him.
long
He
time.
went up with. If he didn't get promotion with Brentford, we would have got him. He went up and he stayed with Brentford, and then we went and got him. We obviously went for Ramsdale sort of a year after, but Ivan Toney was discussed when we were going and talking constantly about Raya. And obviously nothing was coming to fruition. People were talking about Arteta didn't like his attitude. So for me, it's if there's an attitude there, if is he going to fit in? But the only time I would consider it, boys, is if Havertz is sort of that. If they're telling me Havertz ain't going to play, because Havertz is the only one who could have the flick on with Moreno. But would that be negating Moreno because he's been playing that way and he can win a header, he can score the goals. We might,
500 grand a week sitting on the bench, boys.
Yeah,
him and Jesus. 500 grand a week, boys. Come on now, we can.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Better than that.
No, but in the summer, mate, saying that's that. Obviously, I think Jesus won't be if he's not going to be sold to Palmeiras as they're talking about a loan deal with an option. If that's not going to happen, But yeah, you have to upgrade. There's been talk.
You've got to cut your losses. Thanks, boys, but we need to move on.
Keenan, it's either Semenyo.
David, you're not a Havertz fan, no?
Do you know what it is, Ben? I generally think, mate, that he's had his chances with us. We have played him enough. Look, we signed him as a left eight. Yeah, we give him the chance there. He ain't really a left eight. He's like a shadow striker, isn't he? He's like a 9.5, whatever they want to keep calling them now. Yeah, he ain't a number 9. He ain't a number 10. He's somewhere in between them. At the same point, he's played. What did he play? 30 games for us, and he got 12 goals for us in his first season. Now, to be honest with you, Moreno's come in since the end of last season, October-ish, and he's been playing since then. Now, this guy, if you look at his games to goal ratio, now this guy's been bought in the same position as Havertz. He's been bought as a left eight as well. Yeah, this guy can't play left eight either. This guy's he's playing striker as well. He's playing the 9.5, but this guy, he's actually putting up numbers. To me, I think we signed. Chelsea must have something over Arsenal. They must help us pay for the stadium or something like that. Because how many deals we do with Chelsea and give them so much money for players, it's unbelievable. Too much.
On that, actually, Dave, I read somewhere on that. Apparently, we offer them really good payment terms. Apparently,
right?
We allow.
We done Klarna. Yeah, Klarna.
Yeah,
they pay free.
Klarna.
0% APR.
Yeah,
that sounds like us. That sounds like us, doesn't it?
I mean, we can go on. I mean, at the end of in sort of like with that, boys. In my opinion, Ben. I mean, I've had chats with David, and for me, and what David just said is exactly how I'd play Havertz.
If he was on 100 grand a week and Havertz was sitting on the bench, or Jesus, that would be fine. I would not have a problem. We signed him for 30 million, like Moreno. He's sitting on 130 grand a week. No problem at all. But this guy and Jesus, they're sitting on over 250 grand a week. It's big problems. You can't.
So you think we can get better players for that money, right?
It's just more bang.
I do get that. I like Havertz. I like him. I think the only issue with Moreno is his physicality, and Havertz will get around the pitch. Yeah, he'll run, he'll chase things down, he'll knock things. And I just think, Moreno's a better finisher in front of goal.
Definitely.
100%. Header of the ball, he might be, this might sound a bit crazy, the best header of the ball in the world in terms of his heading ability in the box.
It's crazy
in the world.
Yeah, it's incredible, right? Some of the goals he scored. Havertz has missed some horrible chances last year, right?
His shoulder and everything.
Yeah. There was one game where he missed so many chances. I can't remember what it was. Home game.
Remember the Villa game when we was losing 2-1? He missed a sitter. Remember that last season? I think it was.
Jesus would do the same. He beat four people, get through to goal, and he'll shoot it after for a corner flag.
Yeah. That's the thing, boys. The only thing what I want to see before the end of this season, and again, we haven't seen Havertz for the best part of this season, is I want to see Havertz behind a proper number 9. And that what I mean by that is a Gyökeres, because in my opinion, playing him behind Jesus isn't going to work because Jesus isn't an out-and-out number 9. He
so
was
you're bringing out Odegaard to put Havertz in, Wayne. Is that what you're saying? You're playing him number 10. Is that right?
I'll put this for you. Boys. And look, listen, Odegaard should play in different game states and certain.
Definitely.
Yeah,
certain,
but
yeah.
have a look at this for me, and please don't tell me that you've got Eza, Havertz, Saka, and Gyökeres. You know, and Moreno
sounds lethal on paper.
This is what it is, and people. I got absolutely ruined, and I still get ruined by a Man United supporting friend at work when I said I thought Havertz could play like Van Persie. I didn't say he was going to be anywhere near the level of Van Persie. What I mean by that, boys, is Van Persie.
He's a criminal, Wayne. Don't say his name. Mate.
Yeah, I know.
He's a Judas, mate. He's a Judas.
He's a Judas. Mate.
He's a bad. Yeah, I said that as well. In all due respect, but what it was in terms of trying to find the role for him, he found a role for us in 18 months where Wenger literally just gave him that number 9 and said, "Do what you can, interpret your way." He was banging goals in. Yeah, Havertz for me is not going to quite. He's not got that. He's not finishing the way he was finishing for us. That's his weakness, as you boys have said. He's heading, his finishing ability and stuff like that. But he's not. He's like that SS. You know, I don't know if you guys ever played Pro Evo. I used to be a support striker, and I used to put Van Persie behind an Henry. Do you know what I mean? So for me, boys, and as you said, David, there's a lot of money. But bear with me, boys. Why I'm saying that is I just think he can be a support striker role the way that Van Persie played it, in terms of being a left-footed. I'm not saying Havertz is anywhere near his quality. Anyway, he's a Judas. Goodbye. Let's not talk about him again. But in terms of players that have played for us in the past, but he's not lethal enough. But I think he can interpret that role that way. But come the summer, and if it's not improving, boys, and you've got a Julian Alvarez, you've got to go for it. That's my opinion. So I agree with you, David. That's where I stand. But
I've
still got that hope.
That right?
With Havertz, I've still got that hope, boys.
Go on, Ben.
Yeah, sorry, go on, Ben. Sorry,
I was just going to say,
making my Van Persie
just going back to what again. Sorry, I think the I think just going back to the discussion earlier about the type of coach Arteta is, right? He likes players like Havertz who are basically like loyal to him, who are going to do everything for him. He's got those soldiers in his camp. Like he's got Odegaard, he's got Havertz, he's got Moreno. These guys are going to die for him on the pitch. Yeah, and he loves them. So he's not going anywhere, by the way, Havertz. He under Arteta, he loves him.
Not under Arteta.
I think he starts over Gyökeres, by the way.
I know that upsets you, David, but someone at work said the same thing, Ben, and he was
upsets me as well, mate. What are you talking about?
No, but listen. I know what you boys are saying, but
what's that about starting over Gyökeres?
Yeah, I like
Gyökeres.
I like Ben's saying is Havertz would have started. Tone,
yeah, I think.
Yeah, no, a lot of people say that. You're right.
But he would have played more games than Gyökeres by this time.
Yeah. All it is, though, boys, is what I want to say. And sorry, Tone. What we mean by that is that Gyökeres, look at what's happened and look at the shit that other teams give him. Gyökeres is learning the role as he's coming in. He's 27 years old, bangs in. He can be one of the best finishers at the club. He needed someone to ease him in. So I think he would have sort of like started Havertz for the season and then been bringing Gyökeres off and then bringing him in. Gyökeres played every single minute almost, didn't he, boys? Maybe a couple of games he subbed him.
So I'm going to counter-argue there, Wayne, right? I think that why would you go back to Havertz, right? You've brought in a number 9, right, who's going to float around in the same area. He works his absolute socks off in that pressing game, right?
100 goals in the last 2 years.
Why would you bring Havertz in as your starting number 9 or striker, right, playing that role when it hasn't worked for the last 2 years? You brought in Gyökeres, right? Give the guy a chance. For me, that game at Burnley was a turning point. Unfortunately, he picked up an injury, but he was absolutely world class in that game.
Tone, I agree with everything you said, but I don't think he was an Arteta signing. I think Gyökeres was a Berta signing.
Yeah,
I think Havertz was
exactly,
an
David.
Arteta signing.
Yeah,
that's why Havertz will play. Moreno will play because Moreno. What Ben said, Moreno plays the game that Arteta wants to play. He can be trusted. He will not let them
100.
down. Gyökeres is running channels. He's doing different things. The ball's bouncing off his knee, and then 1 minute he's falling over. Next minute he's having a shot. Like, it's a bit too like Arteta don't like it. He likes to know the margins.
No.
He wants to know the 1%ers. He wants to be in control. He's a bit of a control freak, isn't he? You know, like
David. Listen, I ain't brought you on this. We haven't brought you on this channel to take the words out of your mouth here, son. All right, fuck you. But you've hit the nail on the head. And what Ben has actually said, and that's what I didn't want to be rude to interject your tone, but what Ben was saying is 100% right, and David's reiterated it. That in me as well. Havertz was an Arteta signing because of a certain player and a certain thing he wanted. So for me, that's one of the things. I agree. As I say, I agree with that. We could be here all night, boys. Havertz, as much Berta brought Gyökeres in, and in my opinion, and I'm sure on this chat and every one of you boys, I think he's a fantastic player when he gets going, and he will get going. But Havertz would have insisted on playing him if he was fully fit at the start of the season, Tan.
Yeah.
Because it's his thing. But what it is, boys, I've got an early one in the morning, so I want to pass it back to my host, and he's going to ask you for your predictions, boys.
Let's go for it. Predict the scores. Wayne, starts off, mate.
Yeah, thank you, boys. I'm going to go for a very, very, very hard fought 2-1.
2-1,
be a tough game, a horrible game, boys. I'm going for 2-1.
Cool. Ben?
I know I said I'd take a point at the beginning, didn't I?
You did, mate. You did, yeah.
I did. I'll go. I was going to say 2-1 as well. I think it will be a tight affair. 2-1.
Go on,
3-1 for me. 3-1.
Go on, David. Go on, son. Love it.
Yeah,
love
just goals. The goals. Saka's going to pull up. He's going to pull up to fucking. Sorry to swear. Sorry, boys. I kept it all cool all the way through. But he's going to pull up to Villa Park, and he's going to actually do something against these boys tomorrow. You watch. Yep. I bet you any money. Nice little bit of victories here, boys. I'm telling you, 3-1 to the Arsenal.
I'm hoping, as I say, when I've got them 3,000 parcels I've got to deliver, that I'm hoping the boys are going to make me happy come after and further along in the game, boys. But yeah, I love your optimism, David. I love it, mate.
Put pressure back on Man City. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to be really optimistic. I'm going to go over. If Rice starts, I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal.
Yeah.
If Rice doesn't start, I'm going to go 1-0.
I like it, boys.
Clean sheets, mate. We like clean sheets.
I do love a clean sheet.
I think Saliba comes back into this game, and I think
Saliba comes back. It's 2-0 time.
2-0. Yeah, I think he comes back in.
Yeah, nice.
Cool.
Rice and Saliba are vitally important for the victory, boys.
If it's a draw, it ain't the end of the world, boys. We ain't got to track ourselves.
We'll take it. We'll take it because of the fixtures we've got. We've got quite a few home games over Christmas.
What Ben said, a draw won't be the end of the world. That's another big away game we've ticked off. So let's just keep it calm. Let's see how it goes, and we'll reconvene.
Yes.
Yeah. No, definitely. Another thing before you quickly go, if obviously Tony, if you boys are free to do a post-match reaction, I'll be working. I don't know. I'll be doing stuff like I've got like prior engagements. If you boys want to jump on and do a reaction with Tony,
we'll sort that off there.
You sort it out off there. But guys, Ben, thanks for joining. Brilliant discussion,
cheers,
my
Wayne.
friend. I hope we've given you the time, David.
Well done, Ben, mate.
Thank you very much to you both again, me and Tony.
Nice
we appreciate you coming on, both of you, taking the time out. Guys who've watched, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Cool. Yeah, please smash a like on the video, subscribe. There'll be a reaction tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the evening and your weekend. Take care.
Take care. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Get on, you guys.
Bye.